Hello. Welcome back to another episode of FBI. International Season 3, Episode 4 Breakdown and Biggest Twist. Powell risks his job and loses Vo's respect. And physical violence is never a solution, Damian Powell. Special Agent Damian Powell should be thanking his lucky stars for his colleagues on FBI International right now. The CBS drama traveled to Bulgaria in this week's Season 3 episode to hunt down an American criminal named Shaw, who was hiding out and keeping a group of underage American women hostage, forcing them to create video for OnlyFans. With the cooperation of Bulgarian officials and a local agent named Dobrev, the Fly team was able to locate Shaw and shut down his business, only to discover that approximately 20 women were still being kept elsewhere. Shaw refused to provide the location of the other women, so Powell took matters into his own hands. Or fists. Powell's actions in the FBI involved shutting himself in an interrogation room with Shaw and blocking the door from his colleagues with a strategically placed chair. He and Shaw then battled, and while Powell received a few knocks to the face, Shaw was severely beaten and nearly lost a few fingers. Powell understood he was jeopardizing his career, but he persuaded Shaw that it was worth it to save the remaining missing women. Shaw, however, was unwilling to assist. Thankfully, rains broke in, and the crew stopped Powell from perhaps killing Shaw, but not in time to prevent Bulgarian bosses from witnessing what transpired, and it appeared that Powell would face charges. The crew quickly discovered that Dobrev was actually working with Shaw and leaking information about the inquiry because he had threatened her daughters, and she revealed the identity of the person controlling the second site. They traced him down and discovered a nearly vacant warehouse complex with one room full of terrified and barely dressed young women. How did Vo respond to Powell's violence? After the girls were reunited with their family, Vo Vinus of the Dato took a quiet moment to phone and turned Powell into their supervisor. Despite their growing friendship and the Powell-Voranes love triangle that the show has teased viewers with, she didn't hesitate to whip out her phone. She was plainly outraged with Powell and ready to report him for his very unprofessional behavior, but she only halted when Smitty instructed her to. Smitty got the notion to meet with Dobrev's boss and convince him to dismiss all accusations against Powell, unless he preferred that she expose his department to Europol for having ties to organized crime. They could blame Shaw for the attack on his cameraman, and the Bulgarian authorities could do whatever they wanted with him. Forrester later informed Powell that nothing had happened to the Bureau. He also reminded Powell that he was never alone, and that he didn't have to feel the need to lock himself in rooms with criminals and risk his career by striking them in the face repeatedly, not his exact words, but you get the point. The question now is whether Vo will be able to offer Powell the same grace that everyone else seemed to be giving him, but that will be answered next Tuesday when FBI International returns to CBS. Thank you for watching.